Okay, so basically the topic that we're going to talk about today is about the issue of foreign talents in Singapore.
Yeah, sure.
So, okay, why do you think is the main cause of the uproar?
Oh,
Like why do you think the situation is like this?
I think worldwide, no country will want to welcome too many foreigners.
So it's actually a worldwide issue, right?
Yeah, I think in Europe, even some government could be toppled because they bring in too many foreigners. Yeah, so I think it's also an important election issue. But for Singapore, all along we are open to expect,
Yes.
right, from US, from Europe. But when you bring in
Too
too many
many.
from surrounding countries, which are not really professional people, I think there will be uproar automatically. So I think we're open if the people that is brought in are skillful.
So it's more of a skilled workers.
Skilled workers, professional,
I see.
people that they can't find here. Then I think we are okay.
I see.
But if you have administrator from Philippines or India, it's quite difficult to stomach because we have lots of secretaries, clerks.
Who Singaporeans who are capable to do the
Yes,
same thing.
if we can do the job, please don't bring them.
I see.
If you can't bring in if you want to bring in, the person has to be someone that has very skilled, professional skill, which Singaporean doesn't have. I think that's what we could accept. Right.
So it's kind of is it with regards to manpower issue that Singapore is facing, which is why Singapore, do you think that we are bringing foreigners or?
So all along, we are okay with 3.5 million. So I don't know
why there's a need to bring in more,
yes,
right?
last 10 years, why must bring in 2 million? Like we're doing okay, we are number one in productivity for a few years, 10, 20 years ago, with just 3.5 million. And probably about less than 10% of foreign expats. But now you need to bring in 2 million of foreigners.
But the government is blaming it on lack of childbirth in Singapore.
Yeah.
So, do you think that is the main cause why, or are they using it as a reasoning?
Yeah, we thought it's a sidetrack.
It's a sidetrack. So
they
you
use it to distract us from the main problem. But I think there could be a case where Singaporeans are choosy, so there are jobs like F&B we won't do.
Yeah.
That's the pay is low.
I think that's the issue right now, which is why there's a need for expats, right?
Yes.
Because Singaporeans don't really want to do the waitress job.
But the problem is the pay is low.
Yeah.
The hours are tough. So they have to bring in from China, from Philippines, from Myanmar. But I think if you improve the wages, maybe Singaporeans will buy.
Yes.
Now in Australia, I have never seen a foreign waiter. It's all Aussie.
Yeah, it's true. For me as a part-time student myself, if I want to find a part-time job, to do a waiter job, I will think twice about it. I would rather be an intern somewhere.
Pay now I think $6 in McDonald's.
Yes.
And this $6 is 10 years ago. There's no change.
Yes, I have friends who's in Australia, they are getting paid a lot more.
That's the minimum wage.
So it's about the minimum wage.
Yes, I think if we can have some minimum wage, we might solve some low wage workers that are from abroad.
Okay.
I think that this one, is something that we have to reconcile. That you have to raise the wages, then Singaporeans will buy.
I see. Sure. Okay. If I give you a scenario, if let's say population white paper, it's 6.9 million, right, of fully Singaporeans, no expats. Do you think that it will still be an issue? No.
Definitely not.
So
if you can raise the population to 6.9 using local, I think we're happy.
So why do you think that?
That's the identity problem too.
So
like
it's
you
about
bring in a foreigner.
Sure.
You bring 2 million foreigner. You will dilute the identity structure of Singapore. So now everywhere we go, we see a foreigner.
I get what you mean.
That I think dilute how a Singaporean feel.
I see.
We don't feel belong. I think a lot of young
I understand.
people want to migrate.
For when I go out during the weekend, all I see is Filipinos and but so it's more of protecting Singapore's culture and identity from eroding.
Yes.
That's the main
Yes.
that's the main concern. Not with regards to like job prospect. Or
I think there's a few issues. One is employment. If you bring in a family of foreigners, you have to give them jobs. I think now they're giving some priority to the wife of the spouse that got in here. I think employment definitely is a big issue.
Do play a part,
yes.
But culture and identity is also a main issue.
That plays a part. Because you bring in 2 million foreigners, it will dilute our system, our culture, our identity. So I think now we don't feel belong. A lot of the young people I spoke to, wanted to leave Singapore. So it's quite sad.
Do you think that is the result of globalization? Because I mean, in Singapore itself, right, we are facing foreigners coming in. But we Singaporeans ourselves are going to like places to like Australia to like make a living ourselves. So do you think that it's actually like it's a global
could be a
phenomenon?
globalized problem, but I think we can control it a bit. Maybe not.
I think maybe there's a need for a quota.
Maybe not 6.9. Maybe 5.5. Now we're at 5.3, and the trains are breaking down. And jobs are there, but it's very competitive, and the salaries are low because of influx of foreigners that depresses our wages. So I think there should be a quota, and there should be more transparency. I think the PR, permanent residence status, we don't know how they approve PR. There's no transparency. Australia, we know, you have to pass a linguistic test, you have to take this test and that test before they give you a PR. But here, we don't know what's the criteria. So there's no transparency.
I was actually thinking one of my solutions to address this issue, right, was to actually create some sort of a course before foreigners can actually come in. So my solution to this issue was actually to create like a 10-session kind of program, right, for foreigners to actually go through before they can actually come into Singapore and be called a Singaporean. Because the thing is, I think the main issue right now is that foreigners are coming in and then they are just going into the community just like that without knowing the essence of being a Singaporean. So do you think that there is a need for them to understand the Singapore culture?
Maybe we can have a induction course.
It's more of like an induction.
10-week, 10 session.
That's my idea.
The history of Singapore, why we separated from Malaysia. Also our pledge. What's the meaning of our pledge? I think it's good. Maybe 10 session before they can become a citizen. But now, we don't know what is.
Do you think that it's a good, feasible idea?
I think it's good. At least they have some knowledge of our culture, our history, of who we are. I think that's good.
Okay. Let's say if I give you a scenario whereby you are working in a corporate industry, and then you see a Singaporean, like a bunch of Singaporeans who just got a job, as compared to a bunch of foreigners who also got a job. Which one do you? You're more willing to work with Singaporeans, right?
Yeah, of course.
But why do you think that most Singaporeans are avoiding working with foreigners?
I think maybe the cultural difference, also the habits. Also, I think now increasingly Singaporean are minority worker in our country. So you go to the office, 20 workers, and probably the 3 Singaporean workers, the rest of the 17 are foreigners. Some, like I heard Filipino, they would talk Tagalog with each other. So that I think.
So it's about language barrier also.
Yes, I think that actually make the Singaporean worker feel unbelong. And this is our own country, just very ironical. You feel like this, but you're here, so you feel, what's happening?
I get what you mean.
You don't feel you're
back then when I was
country.
back then when I was in primary school, I can really feel the Singapore identity. But now it's slowly sort of eroding. Okay, I read your article on the Real Singapore also with regards to the Filipinos having their own national day celebration over. And then you bring up a point about Filipinos, they are trying to, they always stick together among themselves and they don't integrate with the community. Do you think there is a need for foreigners to sort of have integration with our community? Do you think that would be good?
I think if they can reach out, I think it'd be good. In fact, we have been trying to reach out to the Filipino through the embassy, but there's no response. Yeah, we want to say, hey, we are not fighting you, but we want to be a friend, we can like have, if we celebrate, we want to be invited, but there's no response. I think they keep it very all Filipino, all Filipino celebration. If you can invite some of us to go, I think it will break the ice a lot. But so far, I think they are quite keep to themselves, quite exclusive. Yeah, even the Indians from India also, I think quite.
I think that's the main issue. We Singaporeans, we are not we are not cold towards them. We are not cold towards them. But the thing is, there's they created this line of barrier between the two of us, which is the issue right now.
Yeah, like in my own country, then you don't talk to locals, you don't bother, so it's difficult. Like you're on your own world, you don't care. Like the block I stay, there's a lot of Indians from India. So when they take the leave, they will come to live. So they don't talk to us. But when another Indian family came down, take the same leave, they will talk. Maybe they're friends, I don't know. But it gives you a sense that, this is my country,
But I guess it's, I think the same can be said if we are let's say we are in China, for example. You can tell that from a distance, you can tell a Singaporean as compared to a China native person. So maybe it's because you feel that there's some sort of connection between.
Maybe.
So do you think there's a need for a connection between foreigners and Singaporeans?
I think so. But how to do it? Like I know the PAP, they're arranging the RST, all this, but I don't know how successful. It's like they're being forced to go.
So there is a need to establish a connection.
Yeah, it's the need for they call it integration, which is lacking. But how to do it, I really don't know. So far, not good. It's like collect the workplace. Other than that, I don't think they went out together after work. Like Indians go back, then Filipino go back to their community, then China. So it's actually a very divided society we have.
It's like we are sort of interchange for people to just like come here and then
go back. Whereas here we have, they always say we have racial disintegration, Chinese, Indian, Malay, Indonesian. But now you have a national issue, bringing Chinese from China, Indians from India.
So there's more variants.
This one, I think it's a bigger problem. So I think the riot came, right? The Indian riot, the bus strike by Chinese. And now I heard this new citizen from Malaysia is arrested for the protest in Hong Lim Park. So I think
it's a lot of issues.
I feel they are bringing in all the issues.
For the Little Arena right? Do you think the reason why the riot was caused because they don't really understand Singapore rules and regulations?
Maybe they don't understand or they don't care. And our police also don't understand them. To them, they're very tribal. When someone died, they feel very agitated and they will fight. So I think we also don't know the culture.
We need to understand their culture also.
We also agitated them by scolding them. So I think it's not well managed because we don't understand them, I think. I think
so it goes both ways.
It goes both ways, I think the Chinese bus strike also, right? Because they are very united. Like in China, when they don't like, they will fight, strike.
You're talking about the SMRT bus strike?
SMRT.
I see.
So that part also, I think, gave us some issue. Then this new citizen, which got arrested for the protest with Roy, I don't know, maybe she can't appreciate the rules and the law and order that we have. Like when the police say you can't do, you have to oblige. So I think all these are, to me, issues of the foreign influx. It's different in our own country.
So it's not really about the living space. To some extent, it's about the living space. To some extent, it's about the job. But it's more about the understanding.
Cultural, then also appreciation of each other, despite the differences. But also I think the lack of integration will make this worse. In fact, I foresee more issue will crop up.
Yes.
Moving
So there is a
forward.
need to address the issue of integration too.
Integration, yeah.
Do you think about the Little India riot, right? Because usually maybe perhaps in their country, these Indians they usually like sit around.
Yeah.
Sit around the street and drink. To them, I mean, this is perfectly normal. So they try to bring about the same approach to Singapore, which is not really acceptable.
Yeah.
So that is one of the main issue why it's not about how much they drink or right.
It's the culture. I heard they will just sit around, talk, drink, have some meal together. But here when they do it, maybe they overdo it and we can't appreciate
I guess maybe they don't. Do you think that there's no platform for them to? Because to them, doing this is sort of their way of relaxing. Like for us, maybe it's about going to a restaurant Friday night, going to pubs and stuff.
Yeah.
But for them, it's like sitting around conglomerate and just talking and drinking. So do you think there is a need for us to actually provide a place for them to?
Maybe, but I thought Little India was provided for them. But maybe
it's a need to be.
Unfortunate thing is, someone got killed in the bus accident. So it actually aggravated triggered them. I think the alcohol also plays a part. Like they're a bit drunk, then they are emotionally distressed. So all hell breaks loose. So I think it's very unfortunate. But it's like waiting to happen now. Like the problem. The thing is, it's just there. Just spark, the thing will blow up.
Sure.
I foresee riots will happen again. Strike will happen again. Because these foreigners are different. They don't like us. So obedient, law abiding. They are different,
but then maybe that's an issue for us also because we are too obedient also sometimes.
That's the issue for us.
So it's a bit of a constructing mindset.
Yes, but they are on the other side. They strike, they violence, they fight. Like in the Middle East, the police I think also have to give face if there's a mob that's coming. So I think there's, I don't know, it could happen here again when there's another riot. I hope not. But so far we have a few incidents already. Which are not so promising.
Okay, basically Singapore's history, right? Singapore was a trading port, right? And then previously, our native Singaporeans did not consist of Indians or Chinese. So, to some sort of extent, right, you can say that Singapore was a place where immigrants actually come in, foreigners actually come in. And this is where we are, who we are today. So, do you think that this is actually not a new issue? And then, because, 100 years ago,
we have
the reasons why we have Indians today,
I think it's a bit different there.
It's a difference.
Then because Singapore is like quite bare, it's nothing. So now it's different. Now we have 5 million.
We have sort of create our own identity, is it?
Yes. Plus, I think the resources. Now we have 5 million. So are you going to add another million or 2 million? But back then it's different. It's like maybe just 100, 200,000. So add another 2 million is okay. Right?
Because you can say that we are sort of contradicting ourselves. Because if we are not supporting immigrants coming in, right? But our forefathers ourselves are actually immigrants. So
it's a contradiction. But I think it's a different era. Then Singapore is bare, nothing. So we need people, we need labourers, we need skill. But now I think our first world, we are a little bit more established, and we are also quite full. It's a very small Singapore, so we are 5.3.
So you think it's too much?
The resources, we can't cope. Trains are breaking down, and prices of flats are going up. Even food price go up because of demand. Right. So I think it's a different era, a different culture, different situation. Back then it's like nobody. There's no one, so 2 million counts, okay. But
okay.
Now different.
Now it's a different.
Now every inch counts.
Sure, I can understand what you're saying.